Today on the channel I'm going to show you two cool arpeggio and scale shapes that'll change the way that you play guitar. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you a couple of cool arpeggio and scale shapes that hopefully will change your playing and unlock some new creative avenues for you and develop some skills that maybe you need some help on or some improvement on, or maybe a little bit of clarification. So without further ado, let's take a look at this. I'm going to show you something in G major and I'm going to show you something in A minor, okay? So G major is the relative major to E minor. So G major and E minor are the same keys. So these G shapes that I'm about to show you can be played over G major chord patterns and also E minor patterns. So that's why we're going to focus on G today, G major, and then we're going to do A minor because A minor is also a great key that we play in a lot as guitar players. So I'm trying to give you something useful that you can get a lot of just get a lot of productivity out of, okay? So G major, if we look at this, I'm going to break this down easy. What I think is easy anyway. If we look at a G major bar chord right there, okay? We're going to focus on a couple shapes. G major bar chord right there, and then there's a G major chord like this. Okay? So those are both G major shapes. And I'm going to show you two scales in these shape patterns and then how to unlock an arpeggio that will help you bring these two shapes together and have a lot of fun with it, okay? And it's done a lot in neoclassical music, a lot in rock, but mostly neoclassical and metal, okay? So let's take a look at this. First of all, this G shape, there's a G major scale that goes like this. Okay? I'm arpeggiating, or not arpeggiating, I'm alternate picking each note. So there's one shape, and then when we're up in this shape here, this scale pattern goes like this. All right. Now there is a connecting scale that you can do to combine these two shapes. Guitar players like to play up the neck like this. So if you want to take this scale and this scale right here that I just showed you for these chord shapes, you can do 3 notes per string on the first two strings, the A and the E. Then go, then so it kind of sets us up for 3 notes per string is what you're shooting for. Now, a major arpeggio is a 1, a 3, and a 5. A 1, a major third, and a 5. So without getting into all the theory behind it, basically it's do, mi, so. If you repeat the 1, 3, 5 throughout the entire scale, you've got an arpeggio. Now what I'm going to do is show you a major 7 arpeggio. So it's going to have this F sharp in it. Like this. All right, so that arpeggio is kind of tricky. The reason I'm showing you the 7th arpeggio is because if we just do the major arpeggio off this shape, we have to skip the B string entirely in this pattern, so it would sound like this. It's kind of cumbersome, so I add the major 7th in there. This sounds really ominous if you do it over an E minor, because E minor is the relative minor. In E minor, there's an F sharp. In G major, there's an F sharp. Everything else are natural notes. So that's why those scales work together. All right, so one arpeggio I want you to work on is this major 7. All right. Now, if we want to do this arpeggio up here, and we break up this scale. All right, we're going to end there on a B, but we're going to make this chord shape. It's like a C. We're going to bring the chord up here, but we have to bar it. So there's your chord right there, because that's a G. There's our G. All right, so what we're going to do is go. We're going to break up that chord. It's kind of like going. but we're doing it up here. All right, now what you can do, you can play this thing a couple different ways. You can alternate pick it, or you can sweep it. So do all upstrokes and then downstrokes. Now if we take this arpeggio down here, like this, let's take the 7th out of it and just go like this. And then go add these notes on the top. And then this G. So the pattern goes like this. It's very fun. If you want to just practice that, you can sweep it like that and go up to this high G on the 15th fret. So once again, I kind of hybrid pick. Sometimes I'll do a sweep. I'll just go down like that, and then sometimes I'll alternate pick depending on the accent that I want in the note. Like I'm hammering on right there. Like now I'm sweeping. So there's our pattern. So a lot of times what you'll see on this shape, you'll see this a lot in sweeping exercises in metal and neoclassical stuff, because this shape right here is really easy. Your hand just naturally makes this shape, so it's easy to really go fast in this. Now I'm not a sweep picker, but I can sweep a little bit, but it's not really a priority of mine, but I really like arpeggios. So if you take this shape, a lot of times what you'll get is someone playing, you'll get this shape, you can play this shape anywhere on the neck. So if you know that's your G, if you go up here to the A, you can go A, and then go up to the B, C. Sounds kind of like Mario when Mario's at the end of the level and he gets his flag. So what you get, when they sweep this, you'll get like that, and they're not doing this. Sometimes they'll play the pinky, but most of the time they're going. So if we're down here on the G, so what I'm doing is I'm up picking, I'm going to just hammer on, and then up pick, sweep kind of up like this on the way up. Okay? And all that is this major arpeggio. Now the cool thing is you can chug on E, like, and go, and it sounds like E minor because it's E minor, because it's G major. So anything that I'm showing you in this G arpeggio stuff will work over E minor stuff. All right, now moving on to A minor. Hopefully we're not going too fast, but I want this to be kind of a quick and go right to it lesson. So A minor, the A minor power chord right here, or A minor bar chord is here. Now A minor is C major, so anything in A minor is also C major and vice versa. So A minor is a C major scale, but if we start on A, it goes. Okay, cool. So an A minor arpeggio goes. We just outline this bar chord. Okay, it's kind of hard to do. So what I do is I take this other shape. There's this shape. Then there's this one. Now realistically, most of the time I'm only playing the top 4 strings. So if you take these 2 arpeggios and you combine them, then slide up, you've got the whole arpeggio. It's a 2-octave arpeggio. This one you kind of have to alternate pick it to make it right. I kind of slide up. Okay, and when you're up here, then you go A, which is on the 17th fret. Kind of Ingve-ish, so. Now the same technique goes in this chord, or this arpeggio, as it does in the G, where you can sweep pick it. Like that, but if you go up here, you can do the same pattern. Up here, like E minor would start on the 19th fret. Like that, and you can play this arpeggio up here. If you start on the E, on the 12th fret, down here we were on the A. If we do this shape up here, it's like this. Then you can do, your minor pentatonic stuff around it. Very Paganini, right? And then your scale. Then go G, F, E. So all I did there was G, go down 2 steps, F, then 1 half step. There's our E. So whatever note you're on with your B string, that's the arpeggio when you're in the major one. Because you're going to make this shape like this. And in the minor shape, it's basically the same thing, but you're just going to lower your pointer finger down 1 fret. So in E minor here, here's a major, then a minor, then A minor up here. The main thing you got to work on is finding your economy picking that works best for you. Sometimes I'll alternate the picking, and other times I'll pull off and sweep. It's really almost important to do a hammer on the very first note, pull off. You can do these exercises where if you play with a metronome, you can alternate between both of these arpeggios. For instance, it's very important to focus on notes. Make sure that your notes are clean. Vibrato is important in the way that you articulate your picking. Then you can start playing different scales in it. What I did there is I went right down a C scale. I took this G scale that I showed you earlier and I moved it up to C. And that's an A minor actually. Relative major and minor. So Hope that makes sense, and I hope this lesson was helpful, but that's a lot of info right there. That's some really cool stuff right there with the arpeggios and the scale patterns that'll get you kick-started, and it will feed you for years, I promise. It is just scratching the surface, but you can get so much out of this, and it's fun. It's great for your brain. It's great for your right hand and left hand synchronizing and your picking techniques, and you can do a lot with it with your composition, songwriting, and playing. So if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, comment below, and as always, have a great day. Peace out.